Gotta make sure the background's all nice and neat. Nice and yeet. Nice and yeet. Hey guys, so I recently got an Xbox One, and so I've been playing a lot of video games lately, specifically one in particular that I'm sure a lot of you have heard of. It's a very popular game, The Crew Ultimate Edition. Nah, I'm joking, this game is actually really bad. I only have it because it came through with the Xbox. No, I'm actually talking about the game, you probably read the name of it in the title, Fortnite. And honestly, even though I'm not that great at the game, I still have a lot of fun playing it. The reason I decided to make a video about it is because I've been noticing that the game has been getting a lot of hate lately. Like, a lot of hate. And of course, with any video game that comes out, there's always going to be people that dislike it. But I've seen more people hating on this specific game than I've seen on any other game before. At least in recent times. Which is why I decided to break down every reason people have for hating the game and try to shed a little light on the situation. That was a shed, apparently. So here we go. Probably the most common reason I hear people say they don't like Fortnite is that it rips off another really popular game, PUBG, or PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Which at first seemed like a pretty reasonable argument to me. Obviously, a game copying the style of another game is going to be reason to be against it. But the more that I thought about it, the more that I realized how stupid of an argument this actually is. First of all, you're getting mad at a game for being similar to another one when this has been happening in gaming for years now. If we were using that same logic today for other games, then no one should be able to enjoy a game like Call of Duty because it's too similar to Halo, which is too similar to Battlefield, which is too similar to Titanfall, which is too similar to Rainbow Six, which is too similar to... Look, I could keep going, but you get the point. And this replication in game style goes all the way back to one of the most iconic video game characters of all time, Sonic the Hedgehog. He was literally created to be rival to Mario, another huge gaming icon, which is why their games have very similar styles. But people still enjoy Sonic, or at least they used to before Sega made some interesting decisions with the series. And before I continue, I just want to make it clear that I am not in any way trying to convince any of you that play and love PUBG to start hating it. I'm just saying that just because a certain game has a similar style to another game, it doesn't mean that we have to hate on either of them. And if your argument is that, oh, well, PUBG did this style first, so it's obviously better, well, then think again. Because there have been games that use the player versus player battle royale style way before PUBG. I don't know if you guys know this, but the game H1Z1 used this exact style before PUBG when it came out a whole 3 years ago. At least that's what I heard from my friend. I've never played it. I'm not a freaking nerd. And if you're still sitting there thinking PUBG is better because it's more realistic or it has cars or whatever. Remember, Fortnite might not have cars, but it does have the building mechanic, which is unique to Fortnite. Not to mention, the game is free, so you don't even have to pay money to play it. I just realized how much I sound like a Fortnite nerd right now. Look, again, I'm not trying to argue that PUBG is a bad game or that Fortnite is better. I'm just saying that there are reasons to love both, so we shouldn't just put all of the hate on one or the other. Another reason I've seen why people hate Fortnite is its somewhat annoying community. And while I will admit that its community can be a little frustrating and cringy at times, we've seen fan bases like this across tons of different forms of media, and people are still able to enjoy them. Like when Rick and Morty fans started demanding and rioting for McDonald's to sell Szechuan sauce. This huge controversy which basically ruined the image for the Rick and Morty fan base, and yet people are still able to enjoy Rick and Morty because it's a good show. Or when people started memeing Shrek and the song All-Star. You think Smash Mouth was happy that this song that they were probably pretty proud of for producing got turned into this huge joke? I mean, probably, because it got them a lot of publicity, but even still, you know what I mean. People all around the world still have a love for Shrek. Some might even say that all of the memes only strengthen that love. That Shrek love. Or what about fidget spinners? These things were memed to death last year, and for a while it seemed like everybody's opinions on these things were all completely negative. And yet there are still tons of people that play with these things every day. That doesn't include me, I kinda grew out of these. Anyway, my point here is that just because the community behind a game is kind of bad, it doesn't mean you have to hate it. And finally, the last main reason I hear people say why they don't like Fortnite is that, well, they just don't think it was a good game after playing it. Which is probably the most reasonable thing that people have said about why they don't like Fortnite, because if that truly is their opinion, then I can't change that. That goes for you guys as well. If after watching this video you still don't like Fortnite, I can't make you change your mind. My point of making this video wasn't to convince anyone that Fortnite is the greatest game in the world and that everyone should love it. I just believe that even if you don't like something or you think it's flawed, you don't need to tell that to people that like it. You don't need to force all of that negative energy towards those people. At one point, there was a time where all video games could be loved and appreciated without judgment. Wouldn't it be nice to live in that world again? A world where people all across the globe love games and are accepted for it? I hope I was able to change a few of your perspectives on all of this hate towards Fortnite. And who knows, maybe a few of you will decide to give it a chance. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm in the middle of a game here. No, I died! Oh my god! Oh, that was so stupid! I hate this game! Oh, I hate Fortnite! Fortnite's the worst game in the world! Oh my god! Oh my god, I hate this! Okay, one more game!
What?
And so I've been playing a lot of video games lately, specifically one, it almost fell off my lap.